Hi families, I am Stephanie Hinton and I am here to walk you through week 4 of the continuous learning plan for our pre-K students. This week is really focused in on activities around food and nutrition, just having great rich conversations about healthy choices as well as exercising and moving our bodies. So I want to highlight a couple of those activities for you. The first one is make alphabet soup. This activity, the main goal of this is to really just practice letter naming and sounds in a different way that can be fun and engaging for your students. So you're going to take the alphabet cards, or if you have a letter tile or magnet, you're going to put it in a bowl, and then you're going to spoon out the letters one at a time and ask your student to name the letter, and then challenge your student to name the sound that goes along with that letter. For this week's take-home book, we're going to practice correct book orientation and those important print concepts such as pointing to the word as it is spoken. It helps us understand that we read from left to right, identify the front cover, and then find a period and discuss what that represents. Periods tell us it's the end of a sentence, so stop. The next thing you're going to do is we have food picture cards for you to go along with our theme, but you can really practice this skill of syllabification with anything, and you might mix it up a little bit depending on the setting that you are in. So we have the food picture cards, and you'll see them here. And what you're going to do is you can cut them out and make them like flashcards, or you can just leave them as is and just name them. But for example, you'll say the word lemon and we'll clap out the syllables that we hear in lemon. So lemon, 2 claps means lemon has 2 syllables. In the food picture cards, you'll see everything from 1-syllable words to 4-syllable words. This is a good range for a 4-year-old student. So if you do use other objects and other than the picture cards, just remember 1 to 4. 1 to 4 is a pretty good rule for 4-year-olds, 4 and 5-year-olds. Okay, and then the next 2 items are items focused on writing and practicing writing. And just a note on that, remember that at this age, that looks a lot of different ways. Your student might be ready to sound out and write words, but your student might also just be drawing a picture and using some markings to represent words. And so either is wonderful, and you'll really want to have your child share the story that they've written or share the letter that they've written with you or other family members. So for math, one of my favorite activities is in this week's lesson, and that's Tell Me Fast. And so this is just a fun game to challenge students' ability to quickly identify number quantities, okay? And so for a pre-K student, we're really looking at numbers from 0 to 5. And all you'll do is you'll cut the cards out, and you can see the small version right here. And you'll flash that card up, and you'll want your child to immediately recognize 3 pineapples, 4 bananas. If your child really has 0 to 5 down well, you can mix it up and go all the way to 10. And it's just we want to be able to quickly identify how many in different formations. So if you want to mix it up a little bit, you can even change the formation that the 3 is in or the 4 is in. You can use dominoes or dice to practice the skill. All right, so then the next thing I want to highlight is the favorite food tally chart. So an important skill in pre-K is collecting information. And so with this, you're going to pick 4 foods, have the child draw or write those 4 foods, and you can help them label that. And then ask your family, ask friends what their favorite food is of those 4 foods. And so this is just a form to help them practice collecting information. So they'll mark a tally for every food that a family member or friend chooses. And so, when we do tallies, we usually do 4 and then slash the 5, collect it all together so we can quickly represent 5. If your student already knows to do that, or you want to teach your student that skill, go for it. But that is not necessary for this particular standard that we're trying to reach here. It's really more about collecting that information and then looking over it and asking questions about it, like which food did people like the most? Which food did people like the least? Okay. So that is just a great fun activity. In science and social studies, you'll see lots of activities around basic needs, that understanding that there are some things that we need for survival, such as food and water, housing. We don't get into this so much in the food and nutrition weekly learning menu, but you can also talk about what do animals need that are different than what humans need? What do plants need that are different than what humans need? And so lots of different great opportunities to have conversations. You'll also see working together to make a healthy meal or snack. There, as you guys have seen in previous weekly learning menus, there's just so many ways that you can use the kitchen to learn science and math skills. Our social emotional learning, we're going to focus on health and nutrition. So we're going to talk about washing our hands. You'll see there's a little song in there to help your student with the 15 to 20 second hand washing routine, and also some conversations. How do you feel when you're sick or hurt? Who are some people that you can go to talk to when you don't feel well? And lastly, our movement-related art section, it's going to be all about exercising and some dramatic play opportunities and finger play opportunities along with a song. My favorite, I found this in the curriculum, and I thought it was just such a fun idea that you could still do at home, since this year was supposed to be the Olympic Games Summer 2020. You'll see host your own Olympic Games. So introduce fun events that you can do with your child. So just hopping on one foot or bouncing a ball. And this is something you get the whole family involved in and have your own little mini Olympic Games this week. So let us know if you need anything by reaching out at 58study. And we are here to help you with the continuous learning plan. Have a wonderful week.